It's week 3 at the ABC Gates Bowl in Rochester, New York, and 3 is the magic number because our returning champion, Andrew Kopec, is trying to become our 8th Beat the Champ bowler to win 3 weeks in a row. Here's his challenge for today. It'll come from either Bill Swiat, Parker Miller, or Shaq Strong. Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to Rochester. I'm Paul Peck with Buffalo Bowling Hall of Famer Nawojski. What has impressed you the most about Andrew, who has averaged 242 in his 3 games on the show?
Well, that's certainly impressive because other people have kind of struggled from time to time, but he's kept his composure and he's been able to line up with his equipment and his knowledge and keep those scores up.
All right, let's bring Andrew in here, and I want to ask you about your composure, right? This is all new to you. You had never bowled on TV before. How have you sort of settled in and put all of this stuff out of your mind and focused on bowling?
Yeah, I mean, you just kind of take it one shot at a time. You're just bowling against 10 pins there. Doesn't really matter what else is going on around you. You're just bowling against the pins.
All right, well, he's going to try to bowl against the pins and some opponents and try to do what he's been doing, which is keeping winning. This Rochester native trying to remain the king of Rochester. We'll find out if he can do it. It is Storm Beat the Champ presented by BowlersMart. Let's get rolling. You're watching Storm Beat the Champ presented by BowlersMart on YouTube.
Like and subscribe to our channel now. Don't miss any of the action.
Beat the Champ is sponsored by Storm, the Bowlers Company. By BowlersMart, trusted by bowlers around the world since 2004. By Latina Boulevard Foods, your favorite family in food distribution. And by Go Bowling. For friends and family fun, log on to GoBowlingNewYork.com to find a center near you. It is Shaq Strong and Parker Miller to get us started here. Week number 3 at the ABC Gates Bowl. It's the Beat the Champ debut for Parker Miller, 19 years old from Clyde, New York, and exciting young player getting his first chance to show off to all of you guys watching in the crowd here at the ABC Gates Bowl. And he's got a good form to show off, doesn't he?
Yeah, playing way right. That's our first opportunity to see him. Very traditional. Nice shot out of the gate, that's all.
Yeah, Shaq Strong is making his 3rd appearance here on the show. Last time we saw him was November of 2025 when he bowled at Cherry Laurel Lanes. Still looking for his first win here on the show. Shaq is a fun guy that we've gotten to know a little bit, and as you can clearly hear, he has a good cheering section here that didn't have to make the trip to Buffalo like last time. He is a Rochester native, and he has got some of the friends and family to show up and show out for him here today.
Yeah, I remember that from his first show here. He had a real good turnout.
And a nice easy curve into the spare pickup for Shaq Strong. Scoring and stats today are powered by Hooligans Eastside Grill, your go-to spot, Webster and Macedon locations. 29 years old from right here in Rochester. Plumbing contractor is the occupation for Shaq Strong. And I always love to mention when we get Shaq on the show, how many leagues do you bowl in? 6 from Shaq. I don't know what he's doing on Sundays or whatever that extra day is, but come on, man, dedication.
Remember the first time we taped here and he made the show, he had bowled a tournament in the morning and then stayed to bowl for the tapings of the show. So, yeah, he likes to bowl.
Yeah, he loves to bowl, and those are just the kind of guys we love to highlight on our show here. I mean, that's just crazy. 6 leagues a week. That's amazing. Parker Miller, he bowls 2 a week. That's a little more normal.
Wow, he throws it really good, though. It's our first chance to see him.
Yeah, he really
Watch
has.
that nice rotation at the bottom. It's got that snap at the base of his swing. Very nice.
One of the leagues that Patrick Miller bowls in is where we were last month, Doug Kent's Rose Bowl lanes in Newark, New York. We had a fun month-long stay there, and that's about 50 minutes east of where we are here in Rochester. So it's strike spare for Parker Miller to get things started. 9 career 300 games, a high 842 series for Patrick. Bowled in high school at Clyde Savannah High School. And bowled an 842 series. That 842 I mentioned, he bowled and helped his team win the sectionals back in 2024.
Well, that's excellent timing to have your high set.
Oh, good one there. Strike in the 3rd frame for Patrick Miller. Parker Miller, rather. Hope I didn't call him Patrick. All right, 3rd frame now for Shaq. 9 career 300 games and a high 807 series, bowled at Wilson High School.
Pretty sure this is the first left-hander we've had this month.
It absolutely is. And that's a double for Shaq Strong. We've had the couple of two-handers, including our returning champion, Andrew Kopec, but this is the first lefty. So he's got a nice, clear side of the lanes
That's right.
to work with,
Nobody's
right?
going to bother him.
What exactly does that mean now? We talk about it a lot, but what does that mean where he walks in there and goes, no one has messed with this side of the lanes yet?
Well, most of the time it's a good thing. I mean, there's going to be a time when it's not. But for most of it, you're not dealing with having to figure out what balls were thrown there, whether somebody else has used the line or not. I mean, it's all yours, and you break it down the way you want to. Nobody's broken it down any different.
And that's a triple for Shaq Strong as he's finding a nice groove here. And back to Parker Miller.
Very nice.
Man, we're getting a lot of strikes here, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
That's a double and 3 and 4 frames for Parker Miller. A nice, really nice form here. And we talked about it on last week's show, so now I understand that spin of the wrist right at the end of right before the release. We talked about it a lot last week, and now I'm noticing it more, and I understand that that's where you generate a lot of the power from.
Yeah, lots of revolutions. But he gets it down the lane really nice, which is pretty critical on, you know, any condition where the fronts are going to start to break down. I mean, less so with synthetics, but you want to get clean through the front of the lane, and his projection definitely does that.
So Shaq was involved in a rather dramatic moment in qualifying. He and Pat Brick were tied for the last spot, and they had to have a roll-off, and Shaq won the roll-off over Pat Brick, and that's why we're looking at him here.
Yep, lefty versus lefty, so they definitely you know, had to work off each other's games. It wasn't just like having the side to yourself, and we all know how great Pat is, so that was quite a feat.
We are bowling on synthetic lanes here at the ABC Gates Bowl, and we are using a house shot, which is different than when we were here in September to start season 2 of Beat the Champ, when we bowled on more of a medium sport shot type of challenging oil pattern. So I guess that has lent itself to pretty high scores. Talked about Andrew Kopec averaging over 240 right now. In general, our scores have been pretty good.
Yeah. In fact, we talked about Shaq and Pat Brick meeting in a roll-off, but Pat had shot over 800 to make it to the qualifiers. So that's pretty high scoring condition.
And all of a sudden, after 3 in a row, Shaq has lost the strike train here because spare in the 5th, and they'll work on one here in the 6th. Meanwhile, his opponent, Parker Miller, is working 3 in a row. Oh, tough miss. So it's an open in the 6th frame for Shaq Strong. We are off and rolling. First match of the day here on Beat the Champ.
Presented by BowlersMart.
Plenty of options.
Chamois, jerseys, balls bags, and shoes. The highest quality products you'll find on the market, and here at BowlersMart, we make sure to find the correct access point of any bowler to maximize their benefits from our products and ensure a great experience. Stop by today and let us help you, because at BowlersMart, every bowler matters.
Yeah, bowling. Such a well-oiled machine of mischief for the masses. The Egyptians made bowling the sport of pharaohs, and yet bowling said, no, I am for him, for her, even that guy. Yeah, don't do that. You light the stage for us. You bring the encouragement, and all you ask in return? What's your shoe size? Don't go boring. Go bowling.
Back on Storm, Beat the Champ, presented by BowlersMart. Parker Miller gets set to go here in the 6th frame. He's got 3 in a row on the strike front, looking to make it 4. There you go. What have we learned about the conditions here and what the bowlers need to do to respond to them?
Well, right now we're working with a very fresh house shot, so they're going to use their equipment and where they play to start to dictate where this is going to go. So right now, fresh condition, we'll start to see a little bit of carry down as we go, but the players are able to go pretty up and at them right now, and that'll slowly evolve into something else. But right now, they're playing them like a true house shot.
And we're going to get a little re-rack here before Parker Miller gets set to go in the 7th frame. We had over 100 bowlers attempt to qualify for our show. And we pared it down to the folks that you have seen here on TV the last 2 weeks and the ones you'll see here the rest of the day today. And Parker Miller is on fire.
Yeah,
5 in a row.
Very nice ball reaction. Real nice fundamentals here. Shoulder high backswing. And straight through the shot. Good wrist action at the bottom. Very nice.
This is only part of a big couple of weeks here at ABC Gates Bowl, because in a few weeks they are going to host a PBA Tour stop for the first time in Rochester in over 25 years. The PBA Tour is coming right here to the ABC Gates Bowl, and we can't encourage everybody enough. If you're in the area and want to see the best in the world, this is the place to come in April. Good strike, much needed strike for Shaq Strong.
Yep, hopefully we're going to get something great started and something that everybody can look forward to coming to once a year, just like we used to back in the day.
Yeah, I'll say, do you remember going to some PBA Tour stops back when you were a young, impressionable bowler?
Yeah, I loved it. I loved coming to the stop and watching people bowl. And they're just so great. When you're learning, there's a lot you can learn from visualization. I'm a real big proponent of that. I mean, if you think about it, pushing the ball out, letting it drop, and your feet kind of falling in. When you're first teaching people that, it seems kind of clumsy, but I mean, it's better to get a visualization in your mind, and then it's a little easier to follow through with it.
Who won the first PBA Tour stop that you saw in person? Do you remember?
Oh, my God, that's a great question.
All right, I'll let you work on that.
No. We used to go to at the time, it was at 3 Lanes in Buffalo, so we didn't miss a year over there. And so my first stop was a long time ago before I started coming here. And No, I don't know if I could tell you the answer
All
to
right.
that.
Hey, that's 6 in a row now for Parker Miller as he has taken control of this match.
Plus 34.
Can he make it 7th heaven? You bet he can.
And the PBA would have nothing to challenge with that. If you just saw that replay, you wouldn't know whether it was Beat the Champ or the PBA. That was just absolutely perfect.
Beautiful. Sliding pins.
Nice follow
Falling
through.
pins, the follow through, and the fist pump.
He's ready.
He is ready. And unfortunately for Shaq, no matter what he does here, he's got a big hole to have to overcome, and that doesn't help.
Yeah, in his case, the ball's biting up for him. And, you know, his best shots so far have been even slightly high, and he got the trip 6 earlier, but it's a little struggle for him to get to the pocket.
Yeah, the last time we saw Shaq at Cherry Laurel Lanes earlier, late last year, he lost to Bill Swiat, and that's who he would have bowled against in a rematch had he won this one, because Bill Swiat is awaiting the winner of this one, but right now it doesn't look like there's going to be a rematch. It looks like it's going to be Miller and Swiat in match number 2, unless something changes.
All Parker has to do is just keep it on the lane. And now he doesn't even have to do that.
Well, there you go. So while sitting and relaxing, winning for Parker Miller. So I'll tell you what, the guys making their debuts on this show have not, that hadn't been any pullback on them, any of them at all, including our defending champion, Andrew Kopec.
I think we're going to make a household name out of a few people.
Yeah, we sure are. But that's what's fun. That's what's fun for us and fun for everybody watching, is you get to experience and be introduced to new bowlers, new styles, new personalities, and a hug for his opponent as Shaq puts the 210 up on the scoreboard. And now all Parker has to do is just get a couple on down the lane there, and he's already got the win locked up. Well, the 7 in a row streak comes to an end, but it doesn't mean anything.
Just enough to put a hair's worth of doubt in to start the next match.
Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Is that how it plays with the minds of you bowling types?
You think you've got it all. You've got the whole lane and everything's great. And then all of a sudden you get a 2-pin and you're like, wait a minute. Maybe I don't have that much room.
Parker Miller is our winner. He advances on to match number 2 against Bill Swiat. That is coming up next. It's match number 2, and it features Bill Swiat against Parker Miller. Parker will get us started here, coming off a 259 to 210 win over Shaq Strong. That 259 is the highest score we have had here at the ABC Gates Bowl, as we are midway through our 3rd show.
And not much has changed.
No, and you know, and as outstandingly as Andrew Kopec has bowled, he didn't have a 259. 248 was his high score. So Parker Miller is kind of planting a flag there, like, hey, you may not know who I am because I've never been on your show before, but I'm here to win.
I mean, you're right. I mean, nobody else has really had as good a ball reaction that's really put up a fight against anybody.
Now, Bill Swiat is a familiar name to Beat the Champ viewers. This is his 6th appearance. He has 2 wins on his resume. Both of them came at Cherry Laurel Lanes back in November and December of last year.
Only good things to say about that place.
We all have great things to say about Cherry
And
Laurel
so does
Lanes.
Bill.
Yes. Bill Swiat is 40 years old. He is from Cheektowaga, New York, with a 230 average in the one league that he bowls in right now. And again, one of those guys who is in the upper tier of Buffalo bowlers.
So that was a good shot right there. I mean, just hooked up a little bit high, sort of feeling his way through this. And in weeks past, the left lane has seemed to be the tighter lane, and we've yet to see any characteristics play out yet that show us any real difference. I mean, these guys were striking so much, and Parker's the only one on the right-hand side, and he made them look easy. So somebody else playing on that side might cause it to change a little bit. We'll have to see how it plays out.
So after a strike to get us started, we go back to the 19-year-old from Clyde, New York, Parker Miller. Very impressive. That run of 7 consecutive strikes in the first match against Shaq Strong. And this time, the 4-pin will not cooperate.
Yeah, not a bad shot.
Nope.
More bad pin collision, I'd have to say. Yep, just bad pin collision. Just everything went away from the 4.
So we get a look at the spare game here for Parker, and it's good.
That's true. He didn't have to make a whole lot of them before.
No, he did not. He only had 2 spares as his mom and dad look on here at the ABC Gates Bowl. Parker only had 2 spares in that first match, which means everything else was a strike. And this time it's a ring 10.
So this is what starts to happen when the lanes are just starting to change. You'll get a few warning signs. You know, you get your 10-pin. Ball's not coming into the pocket. It's not sitting up in the pocket as much as it did. So now you're going to start seeing, you know, a few things standing up. And then you have to decide, you know, what's your plan of attack after that.
Now, we're only 2 games in. Is that a surprise that they're starting to change so quickly?
No, not at all. They get quite a bit of practice on the lanes, which also gets the changes started. And, you know, a full game on it is definitely enough to start creating a little carry down. Like I said, it's very subtle. All of a sudden, you'll start to see 10 pins where you didn't before. And, you know, then it'll increase from there.
Third frame now for Bill. An interesting form, as you can see, where he kind of cups the bowling ball between his wrist and his forearm.
Well, he doesn't use the thumb. I mean, he can, and he sometimes chooses to, and sometimes he chooses not to. And we've seen him both ways on the show. There's places that he's felt like he's needed the control, and he uses the thumb hole. And in this case, he is not. Look at that. It's just amazing that your wrist is so strong to keep that ball up like that. But so today he's choosing not to use the thumb.
Yeah, and explain the rule there. We've talked about this before, what the thumb rule is.
Right. If they're, you can go back and forth. You just have to use every hole in the ball. So if you're going to choose to throw the ball without your thumb in it, you can't use the ball that has the thumb hole drilled in it.
Right. If there's a thumb
sets.
hole in the ball, you got to have your thumb in it.
Right. You have to have 2 sets of equipment virtually to go back and forth, which he does.
So a double for Bill Swiat in frames 3 and 4. And now after a pair of spares, Parker Miller looking to get back to striking and has the same problem with the 10.
Yep, so now you've got somebody else on that side of the lane too, also making, you know, slight variations to the lane, because now he's not by himself on the right-hand side anymore. So it's not only what he bowled plus practice, plus now Bill's got a ball that he's now playing a line that can alter Parker's reaction. It's really hard to move when you're ringing 10s, though. I mean, this isn't like when you start to get weak 10s where, you know, you're barely getting the 8 out and the 10 pins. You can see when the ball hits the pocket that the 10 pin isn't going to go. You're going to have to make a move, but it's really hard to decide to change things when you're leaving ring 10 pins like that.
So the ring 10 is just a little quirky.
Yeah, I
just
mean,
a
the
quirky,
change would be so
nobody's
subtle.
fault consequence of a shot sometimes.
It's still how it's entering the pocket, and it's probably just a hair bigger of. This So he probably made a little bit of a move, and that would be something we'd have to ask him. But I'm guessing that he wanted to get rid of that big break in the back end. And so like you wanted to roll up more subtly and not just have that big break. That's what coming in behind the head pin, that's where you start to get that ring 10. But you got to be careful. Like I said, it's hard to make a move because now you don't want to give up the pocket either by moving into a little bit of oil and coming late.
Well, he's able to pick up that sleeper spare there. So that is 4 consecutive spares for Parker Miller. Bill Swiat has 33 career 300 games, and this is always the fun trivia that we love to throw out there when it pertains to Bill. A high 890 series, one of 22 career 800s for him. That 890 series, he ended with 35 straight strikes. And when I talk about him being one of the, in that upper echelon of Buffalo area bowlers, a 6th place finish at the most recent Obenauer Masters is part of the explanation behind that. And if you're not familiar with the Obenauer Masters, it is Buffalo's most difficult and prestigious annual tournament. So when you finish in the top 10 of that tournament, it says a lot about you.
So he's been bowling really good. And he does have that little added twist of being able to alter whether he uses his thumb or not. It does make it more, give him more ammunition.
That is 4 in a row for Bill Swiat. Winner moves on to our championship match. More BTC from here at the ABC next.
The Western New York area has long been considered one of the best anywhere for the sport of bowling.
And no matter where you live, we have lanes nearby.
For top competition,
fun with family and friends,
great food and drink, or just a night out, we got you.
We are the Bowling Proprietors
of Western New York. Stop in and enjoy our sport today.
12X Tech Bowling Supplies is committed to continuing the decades-long tradition of excellence established by the DeSanto family. We are the ultimate destination for customer service, experience, and product variety. We offer an extensive inventory of balls, bags, shoes, and accessories. Our unique fitting and drilling process, combined with our in-house lane, ensures a perfect fit every time. With a range of repair and maintenance services, we can help keep your gear performing at its best. Consult our team today at 1000 Highland Drive in the J. Scuddy South Plaza, conveniently located off of 390 in Henrietta.
6th frame now for Parker Miller, and while we always on this show say you gotta make your spares, he has 4 in a row. The problem is the opponent has 4 strikes in a row.
And the math does work out differently now, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. And after that incredibly impressive 259, things have just not fallen in place for Parker Miller. Kind of leaving all kinds of different combinations here.
Well, he made a ball change, and he's looking for just a little different entry angle into the pocket, and that came up high. Fortunately, got the 4 out, but still left the 9.
That is 5 spares in a row for Parker.
So he was close. I mean, he was definitely looking to change up how the ball was entering the pocket, but have to make a move off that.
Parker and Bill and all of the bowlers that we have had on our show this month are all eligible to be a part of next month's Beat the Champ Invitational. It's our year-end playoff showdown, and we're headed close to that next month at Transit Lanes in Williamsville, New York. Bill Swiat on a stretch of 4 strikes in a row, gets ready for the 7th frame. Oh, how about that one?
It's got it going on.
That pin went from one corner to the other. Watch that action. Bounce, 2 bounces before it hit the 10 pin.
The pins dance around real nice over here. You get a lot of good pin action.
And that's exactly the right reaction from Bill Swiat as he watched it happen. Six in a row.
That was a beauty.
And Bill is getting close to closing this one out and setting up what should be a really good championship match between Swiat and Kopec. Yeah, the breaks are not happening here in this one for Parker.
Yep, that came up a little bit high. It actually looks to me like he pulled that in a hair. But it was...
that pin looked like it had a little too much to drink at the bar here at ABC Gates Bowl.
It actually fell down and stood back up. Something knocked it back up again.
Is that what we call the tipsy 10 pin in bowling?
Yeah, that's the thing with being so lined up. I mean, it's hard to change. You're giving up the pocket when you have to start changing balls, moving, and that first game they just do no wrong, and then they just subtly change on you.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a frustration throw there, open frame in the 9th for Parker, and it'll be a little tough after so much easy success in the first match. Nothing really fell right for him here, combined with an impressive performance. So Bill Swiat's going to head towards his 4th championship match. He has won 2 of the 3. Those led to those 2 wins in a row at Cherry Laurel Lanes. Boy, again, this time that crazy screaming pin just didn't get to the 10. It bounced
right
just
in front.
Yep. Spare in the 9th for Bill. Bowled in high school at West Seneca East High School, a suburb of Buffalo. Almost all of our bowlers have had the passion for this sport at a young age and competed in high school, and many of them in college, and that has sort of honed their competitive skill sets that we see here on the show.
Yeah, so you ask how fast the lanes can change. This is how fast the lanes can change. I mean, I don't think he threw any bad shot there. I mean, they're just starting to get a little bit carry down, so I mean, we see the subtle changes. I mean, in this case, it doesn't matter, but, you know, now you're going to the next match having to change something.
So it's a 236 for Bill Swiat, an impressive score, and it's going to be enough to send him to the championship match. So we'll see what if Bill can keep that going against the very impressive Andrew Kopec, who is looking for his 3rd week win in a row. And that puts you in a little bit of rare air here on Beat the Champ. Not a lot of guys have done that. Yeah, Parker celebrating a little spare pickup there, and he'll have one more, but the smile belongs on the face of Bill Swiat. as he gets a chance to get his 3rd win on Beat the Champ. And a good, strong finish for Parker. Means it's a 183, but it's a win for Bill Swiat. It's our championship match. It's Swiat, and Kopec is next. You're watching Storm Beat the Champ, presented by BowlersMart on YouTube.
Like and subscribe to our channel now. Don't miss any of the action.
It's our championship match, and it's Andrew Kopec looking for his 3rd win in a row against Bill Swiat, coming off that impressive 236 to beat Parker Miller. So this should be a good match between 2 really good bowlers, and we have been very impressed with Andrew as we've gotten to know him over the last couple of weeks. New to our show, but he has been a machine. Bill Swiat knows how to win here on Beat the Champ. He's done that twice before. It happened earlier in the season at Cherry Laurel Lanes. Andrew Kopec has won twice, so somebody is going to get that very important 3rd Beat the Champ victory. And have a chance to stay alive for a 4th. Ooh.
Wow.
That is not how you want to get things started for the 27-year-old from Rochester.
I think this is the first time that he hasn't struck on his first ball.
I think you're right about that. And that one flying pin just didn't take the 10 out, so it's a 7-10 split for Andrew Kopec. And he'll get one of them. Just the first frame, but never the way you want to get started after having sat around and thought an awful lot about your match to have that happen. 27 years old from right here in Rochester. Operations manager is Andrew Kopec. This is his 3rd consecutive show. He has won all 3 of his games, including the 2 championship matches. And in those matches, he has averaged 242. And that's what we're used to seeing from Andrew Kopec.
Again, you know, as the tournament leader, he gets to choose whether he starts on the left lane, the right lane, where he finishes. And so he's made his decisions on how he's going to play this and where he's going to finish. So hopefully he knows which is his better lane.
In your opinion, what's more important, the lane or the ability to finish?
The lane, in my opinion. I mean, if they're fairly close, then obviously that wouldn't be a factor, but lanes can be distinctly different, and you definitely want to give yourself the best chance to strike if you need to.
And the advantage for Bill is he's already seen a little bit of what the lanes are doing.
Sure.
Unlike Andrew, who can only watch, Bill has actually bowled the game to feel like he can decide which one he likes and which one he doesn't.
Exactly.
Starting off with 2 strikes is Bill Swiat, the 40-year-old from Cheektowaga, New York. Perfect.
You know, it's one thing to have good ball reaction. It's another thing to have the ball striking. And, you know, we've seen people hit the pocket and it looks great, but you're leaving 10 pins and then you make a little move and it's a 9 pin. And, you know, I mean, he's got a real good strike look. Bill has a very good strike look right now.
3rd frame now for Andrew Kopec, and he has shaken off that opening 7-10 and come back with 2 strikes in a row. We have talked over the last 2 weeks about how impressed you have been with his demeanor.
Yeah, definitely. So calm. And, you know, this is a very mental game as well as a physical game. And this young man has an excellent mental approach to it. And he, you know, you say it's just bowling, and, you know, he's just simplifying it. And he's just not making it more than it needs to be. And that's a good attitude to have. He just goes out and executes.
I believe he said to us in one of our post-game interviews, I'm just knock down pins.
Yep,
just knock down pins. That's the attitude he has.
You asked him, about when he became a two-hander, what made him become a two-hander, and he said just, started playing around with it when he was about 11 years old. So, obviously seeing it on tour or seeing like someone like Belmonte, which would have been more in that era, got him thinking about it. But at the end of the day, it's not. He said it's not about rev rate, and it's not about throwing pins everywhere. That it's about taking out the. It's simplifying it and not having thumbs be a factor where you have to worry about swelling or your thumb tape or anything like that. He just thinks it simplifies it for him. Another nice strike for Bill.
Yeah, well, both of these guys have kind of simplified this to only have to put down a lot of X's on the score sheet, because other than the open in the first frame, it's been strikes from both guys all the way through. Bill's going to try to keep that going here in the fifth frame.
Yeah, and here you've got two guys throwing it, no thumb, and they're attacking the lanes differently. Bill is more straight up. And we're going to see, Andrew playing them quite a bit deeper.
That has got to be the fourth or fifth time in our 3 weeks here at the ABC Gates Bowl that one of the bowlers has opened with 5 straight strikes.
Yes.
Again, we're on a house shot here that has led to some of the higher scores and maybe led to a little more of the striking than it was when we were here back in September on a medium pattern shot. No, and that one is not what Andrew wanted.
I think that was the first falter that we've seen out of Andrew.
Kind of a miss, right? That's his first miss.
Yeah, he missed in. He never got that to his target. You saw that right hand come up almost like the spinning motion earlier before he could get the projection.
So he's got a 3-10 split, and he'll get one of them. And that's a second open frame in the front 5. That is trouble is right. With a capital T, trouble for Andrew Kopec. Not mostly because the other guy hasn't missed anything yet.
Right.
And Andrew gets the re-rack. Maybe that's just to have an extra moment or two to think about it.
Yeah, and Bill's a smart bowler. He's been around the block. He's probably not going to make a nervous shot. If he leaves anything, it's going to be something like a corner pin, something like that. You're not going to see Bill come up and make just an errant shot.
And that's back to where Andrew wants to be. Good match going so far. Can Bill Swiat be beaten? We'll find out.
Yeah, bowling. Such a well-oiled machine of mischief for the masses. The Egyptians made bowling the sport of pharaohs, and yet bowling said, no, I am for him, for her, even that guy. Yeah, don't do that. You light the stage for us. You bring the encouragement, and all you ask in return? What's your shoe size? Don't go boring. Go bowling.
12X Tech Bowling Supplies is committed to continuing the decades-long tradition of excellence established by the DeSanto family. We are the ultimate destination for customer service, experience, and product variety. We offer an extensive inventory of balls, bags, shoes, and accessories. Our unique fitting and drilling process, combined with our in-house lane, ensures a perfect fit every time. With a range of repair and maintenance services, we can help keep your gear performing at its best. Consult our team today at 1000 Highland Drive in the J. Scuddy South Plaza, conveniently located off of 390 in Henrietta.
Perfect through the first 5 as Bill Swiat eyes the pins and gets the ball ready for frame number 6. Bill is interesting because there's a lot of calmness that you get from Bill, and then every once in a while you get one of those really good fist pumps. The calmness is on the front side, the emotion is on the back side. And I don't want to see the emotion after that one.
Yeah, and he knew that.
I don't want to see that reaction shot.
You saw him react to it as soon as it came off his hand.
What happened there?
No, I think this is a bowler with no thumb thing, because it looked fine, but he knew, like, it was almost like he didn't get the revs on it. It wasn't far off target, but he knew as soon as he let it go.
And he'll get 3 of the 4 and leave himself open here in the 6th. So that is a bit of a door opener for Andrew Kopec. Our host center for Storm Beat the Champ, presented by BowlersMart, is ABC Gates Bowl. And you can find them online at abcgatesbowl.com. They're just one of our many great host centers. And if you want details on how to be a part of Beat the Champ, just stop in at any of our host centers and ask how you can be on the show. And we might be seeing you here on the lanes. But hurry up, because we've only got one more host center left for season number 2, and that's next in a couple of weeks at Transit Lanes in Williamsville, New York.
Yeah, he got that one a little bit right of where he's been playing, and that still came back nicely and hit well for him.
Well, good way to bounce back from the crazy open there in the 6th frame is to strike in the 7th. And of course, as we mentioned, that next month at Transit Lanes, we'll wrap it up with our Beat the Champ Invitational. We'll give out our 2nd Healy Miller Trophy to our season champion. That's 2 in a row now for Andrew Kopec. So Bill and Andrew and all the folks that have been on the show are eligible to qualify as we pare that down to the final 4 and bowl for the Healy Miller Trophy. That'll be next month.
That's right. So anyone that we've seen on any of the telecasts are eligible to compete for that trophy.
Right. And even some of our bowlers from the summer events that went on are eligible for that as well, too, as is our defending Beat the Champ Invitational title holder, Ty Ingles. And we'll see whether he makes the effort to try to qualify or not.
Oh, he had cut that lead to 19, and continuing to strike was going to be real important.
Yeah, this is, I feel like a little bit of the sitting around, watching and waiting maybe has hurt Andrew's momentum. Which is always something as the returning champion you have to fight your way through. You get practice time, you get all that, but you usually made that championship match by winning a couple in a row to get there, and then you win it, and then you have to sit and watch while somebody else bowls to get to you.
Right.
And you can, it's easy to kind of lose the momentum that way. I mean, it's a nice problem to have, but it can be a problem. 8th frame now, and Bill Swiat's got a double going after that open in the 6th.
So the unusual thing is this is not Andrew's last show, regardless of what happens.
Aha, you have brought up an excellent point. Because as a league bowler here at ABC Gates Bowl, Andrew was part of a separate group of qualifiers for next week's show, just league bowlers. He made that show. So win or lose this match, we're going to see him next week, no matter what.
Correct.
Had he won this match, that would have opened up a spot for the alternate on next week's show.
Right.
Because it just doesn't look like he's going to be able to overcome Bill Swiat's performance here today. And Bill Swiat has the potential now to turn in a score sheet that has all strikes except for one open frame.
This could be a potential future trivia question. Who bowled every week but won 2 times? I mean, he could still leave here the champion today,
Yes.
even though he's lost this match.
Do we have a quirky nickname for what Bill Swiat has the potential to do here? Other than, I don't know, strikes all the way except for one open?
No quirky.
No
Nope.
quirky nickname for that?
Nope. Just wish they could have their frame back.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. So yes, Andrew Kopec is on the schedule to be part of next week's show of competitors. So we may get a rematch against Swiat
You
and
never know.
Kopec again next week.
It certainly is out there as a potential.
Yes, it is. And if that's the case, then you'll go back to Andrew having bowled before he gets to the championship match and maybe finding his
you're
momentum.
right. They'll flip the script.
Yes, that's exactly what it'll be. Matter of fact, Andrew would have to win 2 next week to get to the championship match, which is the same scenario that he put forth in getting here the first week.
Right.
So one more fill ball here for Andrew in the 10th frame, and then we'll get a chance to see Bill finish this out and see if he can't pull off that score sheet oddity. So it's a 204 for Andrew Kopec. And now smiling Bill Swiat is going to look to finish this out with 3 more strikes. Strikes in the first 5 frames, that weird open, and then strikes in the last 3. That's where we are now for Bill. All right, it isn't going to happen.
Light again.
Is that the same cluster of pins that he left the last time?
Pretty close.
In the 6th frame? And same thing happens. He's staring at 4 pins. He gets 3 of them, but it's a win for Bill Swiat, 228 to 204. He's our new champion. We'll talk to him next.
Presented by BowlersMart.
Plenty of options.
Chamois, jerseys, balls bags, and shoes. The highest quality products you'll find on the market, and here at BowlersMart, we make sure to find the correct access point of any bowler to maximize their benefits from our products and ensure a great experience. Stop by today and let us help you, because at BowlersMart, every bowler matters.
The Western New York area has long been considered one of the best anywhere for the sport of bowling.
And no matter where you live, we have lanes nearby.
For top competition,
Fun with family and friends.
great food and drink, or just a night out, we got you.
We are
The Bowling Proprietors.
Of Western New York. Stop in and enjoy our sport today.
Beat the Champ is sponsored by Storm, the Bowlers Company. By BowlersMart, trusted by bowlers around the world since 2004. And by the Bowling Proprietors Association of Western New York. Stop in and enjoy our sport today. Well, Bill Swiat joins that very select group of bowlers who have won 3 times here on Beat the Champ. And I know Sue has a very important question for you on how this happened.
All right, so my question is, you have not too many bowlers can bowl with your thumb or without your thumb and make a decision before you compete what you're going to do. What played into your decision to use no thumb?
Well, the middle of the lane has been flooded for qualifying and today. So that I missed a couple times, hit the oil, and it just kept skidding, where if I was using my thumb, I might not have even made it to the head pin. So that no thumb gives a couple extra rotations to at least get to the head pin when I miss bad.
All right, well, he may have not have used the thumb, but we're giving him a thumbs up because Bill Swiat is our winner. Yeah, let's all give him a big thumbs up here. Bill Swiat's our winner. We're going to see him again next week. We'll see you next week here on Store and Beat the Champ, presented by BowlersMart.